keep the guys focused on the task at hand coming up?
Well, I don't think it's going to take much to keep them focused. You know, I think the enthusiasm level that we have right now after that win, it's been very hard being 1-5. And the kids have been practicing hard and playing hard, and our focus has been good. It's just been very frustrating. And I think the win this week should help us maybe not keep our focus, but maybe refine our focus on. I think it gives us a confidence boost beating a good team like Texas State, and then realizing that every week in this conference it's going to be those kind of ball games. You know, if you go back the last 3 games against Central Arkansas, the one they played here when they had was Nathan Brown at quarterback, and it came right down to the last second. They scored to beat us, and then the year up there in 2008, when I wasn't at that game, Coach Condell took the team up there. We had the ball driving right at the end. It came right down to the last minute. And then again, we came back here the next year and beat them here. They were driving the ball. We had to intercept the ball in the end zone in the last minute. And then last year, we lose by 7. We're down by 7, and we're driving the football with a minute to go on about their 30-yard line going in to score to tie it, and they intercept the football. So every game for 4 years has been down within the last minute of the game. So I expect the same thing.
At church on Sunday, were you the loudest singer in your row?
My knees are bleeding, I can tell you that. I don't sing very loud. I think if I sang loud, there'd be a lot less people sitting around me. I don't sing very well, but there's a lot of praising going on, definitely.
What was the coolest thing about celebrating a win after the game? I mean, give me an anecdote. What was the neatest thing that was part of it? Just being able to celebrate success.
When the game was, when we got the football that last time, we go to victory, our victory play, take a knee and run the clock out when it was definitely over. A group of the guys, Simi, Brandon Collins, there's probably 5 or 6 guys came up, and I was taking my headset off, and they all hugged me and said, "Coach, faith." We had the faith. It's satisfying in a couple different ways. Probably made it is they do listen. Sometimes you're up there talking all the time, and you wonder if anything is sinking in. But that they are listening, and that they realize that everything we talk about, and I said this in the team meeting Sunday, everything we talk about, tackling, turnovers, it all came down to a little tiny word, faith. If we just have the faith to take care of our business and do the things we're supposed to do, we can be a good football team. So that was rewarding. Besides running up and getting a kiss from my wife, that was second.
It's on fan too.
Is it too late to apply for Texas State to stay in the conference?
I don't know. When we did the Lion Walk, and we were coming across the field here, and they were getting here, and they were walking onto the field, and I walked to the goal line and turned around and make sure there wasn't any kind of interaction there. But as they were walking and we were walking, they're probably 6 to 8 inches taller per man than we were, and I'm going, wow, they really upgraded, because they weren't like that last year. They were a big, good-looking football team. I mean, they looked like an FBS team ought to look. But they've got a good coaching staff. I was amazed. I get so busy I don't look at the people's media guides and check and see who's on the staff and that kind of thing. But there's a bunch of guys that I had coached against over in Texas. They got a good coaching staff, and they'll get it going. Not that they don't have it going now. Where they're 5-3, they've got Northwestern this week, so at home.
Do you guys, for whatever reason, seem to, against some teams you play well, some teams, it seems to be a team you bring your best for, and this is another one this week.
I hope so. you know, that was 3 years in a row that we beat Texas State, and that's a good thing. Hopefully, you know, we'll play well up at, you know, we played well last year. You look at our numbers in that game last year, we played very well. If it wasn't for we threw 2 picks for touchdowns. Zeke fumbled the ball on the 8, and Tony McRae fumbled a punt on the 12. We gave him the ball 4 times inside the 15-yard line and still had a chance to win it at the end. So hopefully we go up this week and take care of the football.
How big was it for you guys? It's what I was watching early, you know, they come out, you know they're going to run your option. It's kind of giving you guys problems, but it seemed like you guys, from the get-go, were able to kind of, I don't want to say sniff out what they're doing, but you guys kind of had a beat on what was going on. How big was that?
It was very big to be able to get that first 3 and out, you know, to get some enthusiasm going on the sideline. You know, we've won the toss, I think, 5 weeks in a row. And we had been taking the football, which in the Northwestern State game we wish we hadn't. You know, we fumble it and give them a touchdown. So this week we changed it up and we said if we win the toss, we'll defer. So we kick off. Well, when you do that, you always want to get that stop and make them punt. And I really think coming out in an odd front with a 0 nose guard, you know, a 5-2 look, caught them by surprise in that first drive. And then, so they punt the football, they go over there on the second drive and go 16 plays, 80-some yards for a touchdown because they made adjustment to their odd front calls. But that first drive, I think we caught it by surprise. And then we had to adjust. Sometimes, what I really like, you know, sometimes you go into a ball game with a good game plan and the opposition never makes any changes, so you just keep calling the game plan. But there are times when you face a staff that will adjust every series, and it's like a chess match. You're adjusting, they're adjusting, you're adjusting. I thought, you know, in the second half the other night, the only touchdown they had was on that long run in the 4th quarter. So we shut them out in the 3rd quarter and give up 1 long run, which was a guy taking a 6-inch step in the wrong direction. You know, if he takes a step in the other direction, we're in good shape. The halftime adjustments we made defensively, I thought were huge. I thought our defensive staff analyzed and made good adjustments, and that was one of the differences in that second half.
Central Arkansas and Southeastern both down there, and statistically the overall defense at the bottom, which we understand the problems that you guys have gone through. But what's going on with them? I mean, why are they giving up so many yards, or what? How are they still 4-1? You know, what's going on there?
They have had 5 takeaways for touchdowns, interceptions, or fumble recoveries. You know, statistics show that if you score defensively, you're going to win 80% of those games. So I think that's something that they've been doing that we haven't been doing. You know, when you watch them defensively, you wouldn't say that they're, you know, bottom of the conference. But they've been playing, you know, well on offense, move the football.
They've got obviously a veteran defensive team. What are they kind of what we're seeing? They're not very. I mean, they've got some pass rushers up front, but they don't really sell out to the blitzes.
No, so they're you know, in our league you run the gamut from conservative to very aggressive, and they would be more on that conservative end where they're going to give you a 4-man rush and play 2 deep zone coverage and you know, keep everything in front of them and don't take many chances. I think that's their philosophy. But you know, they've from Larry Hart at defensive end, they had a great pass rusher, and last year they had another young man that I believe was either drafted or signed free agent at defensive end. And then they've got another one this year, number 17, that's got 8 sacks on the season. I think his last name is Lett. Jermaine Lett, but they've always had a defensive end that they can say go pass rush and get pressure, and he's their leading pass rusher right now. So we've got to do a good job with our tackles on him.
Looking at that offense, I watched a little bit of Lamar, and they fell behind. But one drive that I watched in particular was a go-ahead touchdown. they start driving and it's 3 or 4 runs in a row, enough to get the first down, and then they get the play action, and that's how they got their go-ahead touchdown. Obviously, it looks like they want to throw the ball a little bit more, and it kind of runs through there. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, their quarterback is, he makes him go. Those couple games that he was out with a concussion after the Sam Houston game, that's a couple games that they lost back to back, and with him, they've been playing well. He's playing with a great confidence. And, Clint is their head coach, Clint Conk's a heck of a quarterback coach. And you look at the QBs that he's had, those guys read things very well. They're going to see, if they see you in a certain coverage, they know where to go with the football. And they're well coached. So, we've got to do some things to try to keep him off balance. Don't let him get in a groove. And, we're going to have to play well in the back end because I really think they've upgraded their receiver position. I think they're probably better at receiver right now than we have seen them in the past.